Well, good afternoon everyone, welcome to Tigers TV's coverage of Preston North End versus Hull City, a match described by Alex Neil in the build-up as one of 13 cup finals for his team as they seek to accomplish their playoff dreams. For Hull City today, a game which with victory can bring back some morale, bring back some confidence to the Hull City team and to the supporters as well, following a very bad spell in recent times. No win in 8 for Hull City in all competitions, but as the team news will show in a moment, there is cause for optimism as there are a few of the big names coming back into Hull City's team. Preston North End beaten by Millwall last time out. They've had some good form recently. They start today 6th in the table. Will they be in the playoffs come the final game of the season? And where will Hull City finish as well? The team news for today then, and Preston's manager hasn't got many injury concerns, but he'll be gutted that Preston North End are without their leading top scorer Daniel Johnson. More optimism defensively with Darnell Fisher returning at fullback. Additionally, Sean Maguire, Josh Harrop and Andrew Hughes all come in replace of Clark Brown and veteran forward David Nugent. And delight for the fans and Grant McCann for Hull City as they can bring back Rhys Burke and Yordi Device into the centre. So out go McKenzie and McLaughlin, and Pennington is pushed out over to the right-hand side. Josh McGuinness will go wider today with Tom Eaves in the middle. Madison is on the bench, had a mild illness during the week, so didn't train as much, but he's deemed well enough to maybe feature from the bench, along with the likes of Stewart, Toral and Norbert Balog, who all make appearances on the bench this afternoon. So we've been here before at Deepdale, 2-2 draw in the League Cup, only went out on penalties. It was a good game, it was very end-to-end, and before that though, Hull City at the K-Com, a 4-0 victory, really showcasing what they can do in the Championship, and it has been Preston's probably darkest moments of the Championship so far. But how will they fare today? They are, as mentioned, 6th in the table, not got many injury concerns, meaning that Preston's manager Alex Neil will be in a very good position in regards to the fact that he can pick who he wants and play, hopefully, the system that he desires mostly from his 11 that he's got out there. They are formidable at home. They've got the best home record in the league as well, Preston North End. But Hull City, as we know, can travel well despite where we are in the league table. We've picked up quite a few points on the road in comparison to sides in the bottom half of the Championship. Referee today is Steve Martin. He will be in charge of this one. Had him a couple of times so far this season, Hull City, and it's produced some more positive results in Hull City's favour. And how will this Championship tie go? Can it produce one of the more regular occurrences in the fact that the slight underdog going into the game can come away with victory? We've seen it already today. Blackburn went to Brentford and picked up a draw to halt them in their promotion push. But how will Preston fare today? Can they take full advantage of that? Or are Hull City going to make a slow climb back in the right direction, up the table? Leo De Silva's going to get us underway. And if it's anything like the last fixture involving Hull City, we are in for a very entertaining contest. There was 8 goals split 4-4. And already there seems to be a problem over on the far side. Josh McGuinness straight away getting involved with the fullback of Preston North End. And Steve Martin, I think, will want a word very early here. Fisher also involved over on the right-hand side, back in the team today, but I'm not sure what that was over. No monitor today, so unfortunately I don't have the replays to hand, but from over on the far side it looked as though they potentially just got in the way of each other as the ball went out of play, and then maybe a couple of words were said to one another. But nothing more has happened, and we can now get on with the game. Harrop. Header won easily by Pearson, who had a big involvement in the League Cup tie here earlier on in the season. Looking for Wilkes. And Pennington's going to let this drop out of play. Can he put some of those great performances in his very limited time on the pitch to good use this afternoon, especially over at right back? It's where he looks more suited. He goes in search of Eves. He's got to hold it up as much as possible, and Preston are the team who are going to get the throw-in. Up goes Pennington. De Silva, brought down by Wilkes, who tries to go around the outside of his man. And now with Sinclair, a big name brought to Deepdale, following his successes with Celtic. And first contact with the ball for George Long is to punt it right up the other end of the field. Went into the 18-yard box without even bouncing. The ball is sent careering back towards him. So the conditions still very blustery in this part of the country, but dry, and hopefully we'll still see some good pieces of play. Long ball forward, goes in search of Wilkes, but he's offside. Offside then, so free kick which Rudd will take. Was at fault for a couple of the goals in the 4-0 defeat, but Preston responded well following that defeat. But for the goalkeeper today, he'll want to make sure he can try and keep his defence in order and be a little bit more watertight at the back, because Preston haven't actually kept a clean sheet at home since they took on Brentford following the League Cup match against Hull City. All the way back in September. But they've got the attacking parts of their game done at the other end. Here's McGuinness. Working it into a wider position, a little deflection on the way through, should be a corner, and it will be. First corner of the afternoon, and it goes in Hull City's favour. So McGuinness actually starting out on the left today, but working the ball from the right-hand side, covering the ground and just buying a corner on this occasion. You can see how much the wind is blowing by looking at the corner flag next to Honeyman as he delivers the cross. In comes Irvine, who knows how to score from a set play on this ground. He was unable to do anything with the ball that time, but Hull City, it's still at the right end of the field. Throw-in taken by Elder, an attempted flick by Eves, and again will be another corner. So early pressure coming from Hull City in the first 5 minutes. And it's everyone back for Preston, wanting to take no chances early on. But Honeyman plays it short. And again, blocked out of play. Will it be third time lucky from the set pieces out wide for Hull City? As Preston seem to deal with that more unorthodox short corner pretty easily. Honeyman will want a little bit more lift on the ball. Better delivery, but the header won well by Maguire. Going to come back towards Honeyman. And again, Maguire getting involved, putting the ball out of play. McGuinness got Fisher backing into him, tries to get the cross in. A simple block. headed towards Honeyman. It's a little bit scrappy in the penalty area. It is eventually cleared. Irvine tries to help it back towards the box, but out of play it goes. That's a good positive intention from Hull City very early on. Just a bit scrappy inside the penalty area as the ball is then eventually hooked away by Preston. So it's all the way back with Rudd. Into Ben Davis. Gallagher. Got the armband on today for the home side. Attempted ball down the line searching for Maguire. Casually played by De Silva, but not to a man in black and amber. And Rhys Burke heads away. Gallagher. Now for Davis. Higher line Hull City are playing in terms of their defence and forcing Preston to pass the ball around their back line before they go for the big ball forward, searching for Sinclair, but it was more hopeful rather than expected in terms of creating an opportunity. Jordi Device gets his first touch of the ball. Grant McCann will be delighted that he's got those two back in the centre of the back four, even though Sean McLaughlin didn't actually do too badly in regard, despite the results being negative. He seemed to have a decent impact, but two more experienced in terms of game time this season, making their way back into the defensive ranks. Pearson, he's got away with that touch. Then helped by Bauer. Davis recycling possession, and that's a good ball played wide. Here is Sinclair. Well anticipated by Pennington. He's even plucked out a good through ball. Now what can Eves do from here? Not too much. Good starting position from Davis, hence why Eves didn't really get the opportunity to cut inside. Preston again having the ball inside their own defensive lines, which Hull City won't mind for now. They want to make sure they've got their shape when these long balls keep being pumped forward, though. It seems to be a bit of a norm for Preston. They've won it high up the pitch as well. Maguire. Gallagher. Maguire looking to step away from De Silva. Didn't get any height on the cross. So it's Hull City's defence which are now being tested in the final third. Hughes. Now Gallagher. It's a good ball into the middle. Gallagher. Sinclair moving in centrally. And then Honeyman will allow Hull City to reset by giving the ball back to Jordi Device. Here's Elder over on the left-hand side. Honeyman. An adventurous looking ball over the top, which Eves is running onto, but the flag is up, and it was up very early. So 10 minutes gone at Deepdale as Pennington jumps. Sinclair, a little slip. Gallagher. Ball played towards Hughes. And it will be Preston's turn to get a corner kick. And Pennington, the most called upon defender so far of the four, but so far has repelled everything. Now it's Hull City's turn to try and defend this set-piece opportunity. and it floats, but that's a simple catch for George Long. He'll take those all day long. Again, Pearson, a little bit unsure in regards to his touch. He then manages to win the ball before Tom Eaves can get himself free. Preston a little bit unsure at the back, and great thinking from George Long to set Hull City off straight away. A Route 1 counter. In the end, Pearson was able to retreat backwards and make the tackle. So Honeyman drops it off into the path of Pennington. Nobody coming out towards him, so the cross can come in. And down in the area goes Jordi Device. And he had a few words to say to the referee, but nobody else was in appeal. Gallagher in for the big diagonal ball over the top, which is well read by Elder. Just made sure his header allowed the back four to get ready. Fisher back in the team for Preston. A lot of fans on social media relieved about that, and he's played the ball into the path of Pearson. Gets it back as well. Irvine came flying in. McGuinness looking to win it. That will be a free kick Hull City's way. It's fair to say a couple of tackles have been flying in these early exchanges at Deepdale. And again, Jordi Device has something to say. Well, Josh McGuinness certainly looks up for it over on that far side from where I am here at Deepdale, opposite the dugouts, in what is maybe not the standout fixture that the neutral will be looking at this afternoon, but it could certainly make a big impact on the league table at the top end in regards to the playoff chasing Preston North End. Irvine. Eaves. Work to Elder. Good passing play. Honeyman didn't have the height. He's able to get the touch. Pennington works it over towards Wilkes. He can get the shot away as well. First big chance for either team, and Malik Wilkes finds the target but doesn't find the back of the net. Not the best touch from Davis. And in the end, he has to call upon his keeper to help him out and swing his left foot around it to get it clear. A free header for De Silva. Pennington. Wilkes again. Looked to be pulled to the ground, but nothing given. Hull City operating a little bit higher. The three men behind Tom Eaves. Pushing quite high to try and limit the passing play. De Silva has gone down. So the free kick is going to go Hull City's way, and De Silva is up to his feet. He's walking away, but very unsteadily. He's making his way into a jog now, Leo De Silva, for that challenge. Pennington launches it forward. It's up to Eaves. He can get his feet to it. And then the long ball forward up towards Rhys Burke on this occasion. Simply cancelled out into the path of George Long. He's back. Simple header away for Davis. In comes Pennington. "16.5 minutes gone, no change in the scoreline. But that ball is being pinged about all over the place as Wilkes goes into Declan Rudd. But Hull City, I think, are certainly trying to use the wind to their advantage in this first half. George Long has got a big boot anyway, but you can certainly see a bit of a difference when he tries to send the ball forwards. Quick throw in. Wanted to catch Hull City, Preston out for that time being from that failed ball wide. Elder. He's gone looking for Honeyman. Didn't have the necessary touch to bring it in. Back. Well, Irvine couldn't help him out. The ball is eventually hit clear. Pearson. Only find the only other number 4 on the pitch in Yordi Device. And Bauer swings at it and slices it out for a throw-in. Irvine. Hull City trying to pass their way quite cleverly in the wide areas. Yordi Device under a bit of pressure. And again, he looks towards the referee and asking for something when it didn't really look like anything was going to go in his favour that time. And Preston have a throw-in. High up the pitch inside Hull City's third. Barkhazen. Not seen much of him so far. And Jackson Irvine keeps him quiet for now. And a free kick given away by Jackson Irvine. And this is a chance for Preston to swing the ball in. Organisation time for Hull City's defence, as Preston put plenty of bodies forward for this free kick opportunity, which they can take full advantage of. As we approach 20 minutes, it's swung in. De Silva managed to get a touch in the end following the numerous attempts to get onto the ball, and then George Long is able to bravely come out and command his area despite the presence of the oncoming Sean Maguire. Quick 1-2 between himself and Yordi Device. He can then clear it away. Wilkes giving chase again. Leapt very early. Trying to put off the centre half as much as possible. No wonder the Preston fans were in appeal for something. Honeyman. Oh, he's fizzed it into the path of McGuinness, and Wilkes' chance goes sailing over the top of the crossbar. The man who's had both shots for Hull City. One's on target, the other one not so. I think McGuinness wanted to maybe try and get the shot away himself. The first touch, though, was a little bit unkind, and in the end he teed it up for Wilkes. And given the speed of the pass as well, Wilkes maybe could have used his side foot to try and guide the ball into either corner rather than going for the powerful effort. It might have brought him more luck and more fortune for Hull City. It's going to be a free kick Preston's way. Sinclair can't deal with the pressure of Rees-Burke, but there was too much of it. So here's a free kick as we approach the halfway point of the first half. Paul Gallagher, Preston's captain, the one who stands over it. He's got a great invitation to swing this in on the right foot. Plenty of curve to that delivery. And then it's met with Bauer, and in the end Sinclair can't get the necessary touch to maybe get the shot away. That's probably the closest Preston have come. Good inviting delivery, and then hanging around inside the penalty area. Good pressure from Preston to keep the danger alive, but the chest control from Sinclair not sufficient. Honeyman, he gets it down for Wilkes. De Silva, the right pass to play just behind Pennington, took a bit of momentum away. Honeyman, Pennington, Honeyman for De Silva. Hull trying to walk it into the penalty area with Wilkes. Good save at the near post by Rudd. Looks like he's learnt his lessons from a right winger, being able to score from that sort of tight angle. Well worked by Hull City, getting it into the penalty area, and again it was Wilkes who certainly seems up for this one. 3 good chances he's had so far, but Preston able to deny him once more. Floated one by Honeyman. Easy to deal with from North End's perspective. Pennington deciding to send it direct while everyone's still up there in the mix. Chest control from Pearson. Sinclair. Now for Maguire. Collides with Pennington. The advantage is given, so Harrop can maybe go on his way. It's going to be brought back for a free kick. Pennington with the aggressive presence, but the referee feel it was a clumsy and mistimed challenge. It's a bit of an awkward one for the Preston North End man, Maguire, because the ball wouldn't sit kindly for him. He was waiting for it to come onto his foot. In comes the cross. Gallagher. Now Harrop. Gallagher. It's a good inviting cross, and wide of the target. Really good opportunity for Preston North End. It was a delightful ball in. Two great crosses in succession, one from a dead ball situation and another from open play by Gallagher. And leaping up was Maguire. Not too many goals so far this season, just the 4 in his 31 appearances. But he wasn't far away that time. Maguire denied by De Silva, dispossessed. Fisher gone searching down the line for Harrop. Barkhuizen looking to take this into the area. And sent careering out of play by Rees-Burke. No nonsense from him. But just all of a sudden, in the last 5 minutes or so, Preston have upped the ante. Hull City are creating chances though in this game. It's a very even contest at the moment. Played by Jordi Device. Hit back by Honeyman to McGuinness, who can control it well, but he can't clear it as well. And Long will just say thank you very much from that cross. Another chance to clear it straight away. Well anticipated by Hughes. Elder. Big clearance up into the sky. Well met by Wilkes. Probably would have expected him and Eves to be the other way around in that little phase of play, but nevertheless Wilkes did his part. Offside at the other end. Well, 4 changes for both sides today, and it looks to have promoted a bit of freshness in both camps. Preston, of course, without their top scorer in Johnson. Midfield presence, but they're still moving the ball forwards. But Hull City are certainly getting chances away, particularly down the right-hand side. They must be thinking that that is the weakest area of Preston's 11. And here they come again. Honeyman. Don't think it's going to have enough on it for Pennington to reach it before Gallagher. Well, Rhys Burke in a bit of a wrestling match with Maguire. This time Steve Martin, the referee, says no. You can tell by the Preston fans' reaction what they feel about that choice of decision. Certainly looked a foul, that's to be quite honest. Maybe Rhys Burke is quite fortunate he didn't give anything away. Wilkes in search of Josh McGuinness, and he's pushed his man in the back, and that will be a free kick. Not ill-tempered this match, but it's certainly creating a bit of an atmosphere. As Preston North End go and appeal for a couple of fouls, one going their way when it should have done and one not so, just a minute previously. De Silva, well intercepted, immediately taking the ball wide. It's into Honeyman. Spotted the presence of Harrop fast approaching and escaped. Ball over towards Elder. It's a decent looking cross. Eves goes down inside the penalty area, but it actually goes Preston's way. There's not many goals floating about in the Championship so far. Swansea lead against Huddersfield Town, and Stoke have got themselves in front against Cardiff. There's been 3 goals at St Andrews, Birmingham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. So those just below Preston in the league table are still trying to put the pressure on. It's not a good clearance by Rudd. Pennington. Well read by Davis, and then Wilkes tries to meet the ball. It's clumsy from Hughes, and that will be a free kick. Let's see what Hull City can produce from this free kick. Usual suspects going forward. Jordi Device has scored from a free kick from this sort of vicinity previously. In the ball swings. It was met well by Eves, but it wasn't anyone else in black and amber shirts doing their part, and wide it goes. Tom Eves may be a little bit disappointed in the fact that he didn't get a better connection on it, made the right run. And it was a very enticing ball by Honeyman. Got the right side of where everyone had set up in Preston colours, making it a difficult one to defend. But Eves couldn't direct it on target. Pearson. Now Hughes. Davis. Cross towards Bauer. The big diagonal ball again. Looks as though Preston are trying to test Pennington as much as possible. Here's Sinclair. Now Harrop. 2 to aim at in the box. And that one will run out of play. West Brom have taken the lead against Bristol City, which will be some relief for the Preston fans, I should say. Huddersfield Town down at the other end of the table, 4 points above the relegation places, so they are still very much in the realms of being the first team to go back-to-back relegations since Wolverhampton Wanderers in 2012-2013. Again he sleeps. And Fisher, on this occasion, is able to get the ball first. 12 minutes of normal time. No change in the scoreline just yet. Honeyman drops the ball out of play. Hughes. Maguire. A couple to aim at in the box. Big save from Long, and then Barkhuizen cannot direct it goalwards. Great first stop from the keeper. And the second invitation not taken by Preston. Again, it's a good ball from Preston's left-hand side. Right on the cusp of the 6-yard line. Met well by Barkhuizen. Maybe a disappointing factor from Hull's perspective as he wasn't pressured more. But a good stop from George Long. That was a difficult one to deal with. And Elder comes in with the challenge. That'll be a free kick. And the referee wants a word with Elder too. Gallagher. Ooh, a little bit loose. Reece Burke finds Pennington again. De Silva. Simple turn in one direction, then another, and another. Up towards Wilkes, but easily met once again. And then out of play it goes for a throw-in. Great play there from De Silva, getting out of such a tight spot in the midfield, doing very well. Oh, big ball once again up towards Barkhuizen, who's able to keep it in and swing it in. Honeyman. McGuinness will now make his run up the middle as Elder has a little pocket of space. Well, Honeyman shoved off the ball. Fisher, well, he stepped away from two men. It's going to be brought back though for a free kick. Fisher must have thought he was away and gone then down the right-hand side. But the referee bringing it back. Honeyman feeling the effects of the collision. Preston fans aren't happy. I'm not too sure from over on this side of the ground whether or not it was a free kick. There's certainly uproar over on that side of the ground. Pennington has played it in. Wilkes gets a touch. Honeyman has a strike at goal, and again a free kick given. Preston get on with it quickly, but it's certainly a point to make that the referee is certainly getting involved in this game. Plenty of decisions to keep an eye on for him. Wilkes had two Preston men on his toes, but was able to win the ball. Thrown in by Pennington. Irvine up to Wilkes again. Good control by Honeyman. He was facing the wrong way. De Silva has tried to move it into space for Elder. McGuinness trying to beat his man, and Fisher this time is the one who wins it in terms of battles. And a corner kick is what Hull City get. Well, corner kick to come. Dennis and Fish having that great battle. It's a great ball in. Wilkes is there, and Hull City lead. He's been threatening in this first half. 3 chances with his feet, but the first one he gets with his head. He nods it into the back of the net, and this goal-scoring trend, Preston leaking goals at home, continues. And Hull City lead at Deepdale. An inviting ball in for Malik Wilkes. Nobody jumped with him. A really good ball into the 6-yard box, and Malik Wilkes, well placed, is able to nod home. And he is now getting himself in amongst the goals. And is that going to be a goal where Hull City can now go on and, for him, get himself involved in what would be his first win since the opening day when he was playing for Barnsley against Fulham? Hull City lead by 1-0. Throw in for Eves. McGuinness can't step away from Sinclair that time, and out of play it goes. And what will the response be like for Alex Neil's side, falling behind? Hull City in front. It's got the Tigers fans singing away to my left-hand side. McGuinness tussling and toying again. And this time a free kick goes Preston's way. Harrop. Oh, ball in a tight spot. It's going to be Preston's throw-in. So quick organisation needed. Gallagher. It's up towards Sinclair, who is offside. So a frustrating first half now developing for Preston North End. And Hull City are not far away from being in the lead. Away from home. For the first time since taking on Rotherham. In fact, scratch that, they were level against QPR. It's been a very long time since they led away from home at half-time, that's for sure. If memory serves me correctly, you may have to go all the way back to November when Hull led away at Fulham. And they went on to win by 3-0. And Josh Bowler was the man who got the goal. But of course, he's one of the many players still situated on the injury table. Bit of a slice by De Silva. And Rhys Burke just taps it out of play. It's been a good performance so far by Hull City. They've certainly not let Preston play the way they want to. They've been limited to chances, the home side. Tigers fans are enjoying themselves here at Deepdale. Grant McCann will be delighted inside. We're just a couple of minutes before half-time. Eves looking to turn. Elder. Hughes gets up ahead of Pennington. It's up to Rhys Burke then to fill in that space, and he does so. But throw in for Preston. Look towards the fourth official to see how much injury time we're going to have, and it will just be the 1 minute. Gallagher, a floated ball, easy to deal with for Yordi Device. Pearson. Fisher. Elder will clear the ball away. It's a tester for Davis. Wilkes is able to gather it. Now then, big chance. Preston a little bit misshaped. Irvine sends it over for McGuinness. A little bit of momentum lost. And McGuinness is well tackled by Fisher. And McGuinness is down on the ground. Cleared away. Pennington. His touch sees the ball escape his control. Davis across to Bauer, and that will bring the first half to a close here at Deepdale. Few boos from the home fans, but to my left-hand side, pretty much everyone in black and amber is on their feet in a standing ovation for the first half performance. Malik Wilkes has put Hull City in front with his header inside the 6-yard box. It's only the third time away from home Hull City have led going into half-time. On both previous occasions, they came away with all 3 points. Will it happen again? Or are Preston going to be able to up their performance? Because they didn't create as much as they would have wanted to. Their best opportunity probably with Maguire, who headed wide. Scott Sinclair could have done much more if he'd been able to control the ball inside the 6-yard box. But a brilliant save from George Long means Preston are denied and goalless at half-time. It is at Deepdale. Preston 0, Hull City 1. So welcome back then for the second half between Preston and Hull. Hull City leading by 1-0. Malik Wilkes, 4 goals in 4 games. Have Hull City put in a performance where it could lead them to victory? Preston now potentially with the wind and potentially with a little bit of tactical change as well. There's no substitutions at half-time for either team, but the question is, will Hull City continue in their regressive nature, which we haven't seen too much of in the last couple of weeks? Or will Preston prevail and come back from behind? We're about to find out. Hull City in a bit of a rarer position away from home then, leading at half-time. As mentioned, as the whistle blew, it's only the third time this season that Hull City have been in such a position. Ball forward, looking for Pennington. In the end, he was the one who got it, and he got the free kick. The conditions here at Deepdale seem to have calmed down slightly for now. So maybe the weather was on Hull City's side, but won't be for Preston in this second half. It's a massive kick again, up towards Honeyman. He can get in goal side, but he's offside in the view of the linesman. So Hull City was certainly aggressive, and one of the men who's got the ball now, Fisher, was in a real battle with Josh McGuinness over on Hull City's left-hand side, making it so difficult. Fisher maybe a couple of times has got the better of McGuinness, but the aggressive nature may just be getting into the player's mind ever so slightly, and it's one of those little battles which Hull City need to win. Back in the team today, but certainly under the cosh. And Preston letting themselves down from a great delivery from Callum Elder to meet Malik Wilkes, who has been a very bright spark in Hull City's team this afternoon. Here come Preston. Back to Gallagher. And now Harrop. Over with Fisher. And Fisher sends it forwards. Offside flag is up. Seen a few of them in the match so far here at Deepdale, which Hull City lead by 1-0. And the way things stand, Hull City would be 9 points off the playoffs. Mathematically, a huge challenge, but certainly still on. The injuries obviously taking their toll on Hull City in recent times. But with the players coming back, are Hull City now going to start putting results together again? Eves pulled to the floor. The ball runs through just into the grasp of Rudd. Opts to throw it short towards Fisher. Now Pearson. Eves was bearing down on him. Well picked up by Honeyman. De Silva. Wilkes couldn't step away with the momentum he wanted. Gallagher. He's going to be so crucial, you would feel, in this second half for Preston, because he was putting in a couple of good deliveries. Honeyman, 3 to his left-hand side. He's managed to step through the traffic that was facing him. Irvine, and now McGuinness. kept the ball despite Fisher coming in. And Bauer has to go back towards Rudd. The Preston fans a little bit disgruntled by that, but he didn't really have many options on. Maguire has worked it well over onto Preston's left-hand side. Across immediately is Rhys Burke. Boa. Fisher. It's not the best pass from Barkhuizen. Eves with the pressure, which Hull City continue to assert on Preston North End. The longer they can keep it up as well and keep this scoreline the same, the more frustrating it's going to be. Because Preston are used to having things their own way at Deepdale. Before the derby match last night, Preston with the most points at home, 33 they've collected from 17 games. Can be brought back for a free kick. Big ball played forward by Pennington, and McGuinness got up well. Eves has got work to do to keep it in. There's a judge to be offside in view of the linesman over on the far side, but the first 6 minutes of the second half gone. And Hull City continuing to try and be as assertive as possible. Worked wide towards Fisher, into Sinclair. Bauer needed a second touch. And that ball is soaring towards the touchline only for Preston North End. Big throw in which Eves has actually done very well with, and then a slip from Pearson means Honeyman now can bring it forward. Pennington with pace now for Wilkes. McGuinness could get there, he's sent it back across, it's headed away. A big moment which is still potentially materialising. Elder's cross, Honeyman leaps. He can get it in again, Elder. This time it was low and only met the first man in white. Device has done really well. It's Elder's delivery. And Eves goes flying, looking for the header. But he couldn't get the right connection needed. But the aggression, the delivery in this second half from Hull City in the little phase of play, relentless, and if Hull City can keep that going, you never know, they may put themselves in a more advantageous position. Well, Preston have tried to play their way out to the back and look to have got the job done. Davis. 6 or 7 passes by Preston, and now they trundle up towards halfway. Fisher, Harrop has not really been able to showcase what he can do on this occasion. And a much changed team, of course, from the League Cup side, which played here earlier on in the season. Good ball down the line. This is Barkhuizen. He's teed it up for Gallagher. He sets the cross in, and in comes Fisher, who is goal side. Has it crossed? No, it hasn't. Heroic defending, and Preston opened up Hull City, but couldn't capitalise. It's inspired the fans to motivate. Harrop. He can't get the ball in, and it stays in play, and Honeyman will clear it. De Silva. Can he get it down and set Hull City away? It's a good ball up the right-hand channel. Here's Eves. And Hull City get the throw-in. What a chance at the other end for Preston. Started from one side. Gallagher does really well to pick out Fisher. Gets around his man. Look how close this is. It is so close to hitting the back of the net. Brilliant defending from Burke. Instinctive reactions on the goal line to keep his side in front. He's the one to gather now high up the pitch. Honeyman heads. This time though it's going to land with Harrop, who is tripped by Honeyman. Harrop not happy. Honeyman walking away, and the Preston gaffer also wants to get involved. I think we may be seeing the first card of the afternoon. Honeyman with a challenge where he knew that if he brought him down it was just going to stop Preston in their tracks, and Honeyman gets the yellow card. Well, Elder thought about it. Fisher now with time and space. Good defence from Burke. Up goes Pennington. The aerial duel, Hull City have been very formidable. And they've really made Preston work hard in the attacking areas where they've tried to be, and they've made it so difficult to win the aerial battle. Good play this from Preston. Rhys Burke once again across. Gallagher's delivery. In the end it works out to be a good switch across to Fisher. What can he do from here? Tries to play it in. Elder's touch. A big booming kick away by Jordi de Wijs. Well, Eves did the hard part, and able to actually get the ball down. Maybe an injection of pace in those legs. He may have got round his man. In the end, he gives away a free kick. Well, Preston are going to make their first change, and Scott Sinclair is going to be the man who's going to make way, and Jayden Stockley will be coming on, so an extra man up front.
It's number 20, Jayden Stockley.
And Jayden Stockley makes his way onto the pitch. Another change as well coming up for Preston. They're going to withdraw Sean Maguire from the picture, and Alan Brown is going to make his way on.
And the second Preston North End placing number 24, Sean Maguire, is the right Alan Brown.
Alan Brown, another player back in the team, dropped initially for this game, and now on into the midfield with Stockley up top. Hull City operating that really high attacking line, and the aggressive nature of how they've gone about their business so far has prevailed so far. Will it continue? And Gallagher. Bauer for Preston North End. Pearson dropping right in with Gallagher as the two central defensive mids on that occasion. Ball played up towards Brown. So Preston have made their 2 substitutions before the hour mark. Harrop tees it up for Gallagher, tries to slide it through, and well played by Wilkes. Eves gets caught. It's been a very bruising encounter for these two sides. Eves remains down. Irvine looking to win it back. Honeyman will get involved too. Here's Fisher. Eves is still down on the floor. Fisher's delivery is going to sail away harmlessly. And Preston obviously entitled to carry on playing in the circumstances. 1 goal down. Eves is eventually going to get to his feet, I think. In fact, he is going to park again on the turf, and the physios will come on. A little bit of respite just as the game is materialising into that bruising encounter where both sides getting up each end of the pitch. Lots of aerial battles as well, the ball flying about all over the place. It's not they've not really been successful though, these long balls forward for either team. The pass success for Preston has been greater than Hull City, so you'd feel if Hull can look after the ball a little bit better in the final half an hour, they may just leave Deepdale with all 3 points. That's the hardest place to come to 4 points before today. Look at the scores elsewhere, just while we have this break in play. Bristol City 2-2. Sorry, excuse me, Bristol City 2-0 down against West Brom. Birmingham 2-2 against Sheffield Wednesday. So that's a big result in regards to Preston and their current playoff situation. Charlton lead against Luton. Leeds have got themselves in front against Reading. And Stoke and Swansea still remain 1-0 up. Wigan are leading against Millwall. So down at the bottom end of the table, Huddersfield may just now be starting to really look over their shoulder. Tom Eaves remains on his back. And in some discomfort, the stretcher has been brought on quite immediately for the challenge. And it looks as though Tom Eaves is not going to play any more part in this fixture. So do they go with just replacing the man in the middle and go for Balog, or do they bring Maddison on for an injection of energy even further and move McGuinness into the middle, who's having a great battle with Fisher over on the left hand side? In fact, they're going to put another man in the middle, it would seem. John Terrell getting ready. Tom Eaves is on the stretcher, and it's another injury for Hull City, and Tom Eaves is making his way off, and the Preston fans positively acknowledge his efforts today. And Tom Eaves will make his way off. We certainly hope it's not serious. So Tom Eaves heading off the pitch, not in the way he would have wanted to. And a man who has been plagued with injury so far this season, John Terrell, is reintroduced into the Hull City team. And how much of an impact will he make? 6 games, that's all he's had this season. He's produced 3 assists. His immediate involvement is to head the ball towards Wilkes. So the question is, where will John Terrell go? Because obviously Irvine, De Silva and Honeyman are all still on. Terrell can play as a more of an attacking member, but he's not played as part of a front three for Hull City before. May just be a case now of maybe a 4-2-3-1. Pearson shrugs off Elder. In comes De Silva. Fisher. Elder comes in with a strong challenge. Wilkes will keep the pressure on as the lone man up front. Brown brilliantly stepped away from his man, and then he goes down inside the penalty area. There's a massive appeal from the Deepdale crowd, but Steve Martin immediately says no. Fisher, now he goes down, and this time it's a penalty. Can't be too many complaints with that one. Fisher congratulated by his teammates for winning it, and it's now up to George Long to keep Hull City in front. Well, Preston was still in uproar from the first one, which didn't go their way. Then Fisher getting in and brought down to the right of the goal. I think it's the right decision. And Preston now with a great opportunity to equalise, with Gallagher, the captain, taking the responsibility. Gallagher not looking. Is Long going to deny him? No, he isn't. It's a powerful Preston penalty, and North End are level. Preston North End pulling themselves back from being behind. It's taken a penalty to do it, but it was a very confident penalty. Simple run up, blasted in. George Long probably didn't expect such a ferocious effort, and Preston have equalised. Same sort of scenario then as the last league game here on Boxing Day of the previous season, when Jackson Irvine came up with 2 goals. De Silva tries to flick it on. Irvine heads it. One will be headed out of play. So Hull City trying to put a little bit of pressure on. An immediate response maybe. It's headed clear by Ben Davis. De Silva. Pennington. Well worked into the path of Terrell. He looks to try and get it into the path of Irvine. Here's Elder. Somehow goes through his legs. Preston now on the move. Barkhazen. Pearson now brings Fisher into the equation, but Preston have lost the momentum and Hull have been able to get men behind the ball once more. Over to Davis. Tries to float it forward, looking for Stockley, and Long in the end is able to gather. He went up with Yordi device, and it's a big cannoning kick again, which Wilkes is going to give chase to. And he's managed to win the throw-in, Malik Wilkes. Not so much involvement in this second half, but his moments in the first half gave Hull City a first half lead. Preston have pegged Hull City back at 1-1 through a penalty. But Hull City trying to up the tempo now in this little phase of play, trying to keep Preston penned in. Pennington was able to get it in. This is going to be difficult for McGuinness. It's just about hugged the byline. McGuinness chips it in. Pearson will head away. It only goes as far as Elder. Here's Honeyman. Elder trying to create the angle to get the ball into the box with his run. Terrell still trying to create that space. Terrell will try and cross it. Needed a lot more height than that. Stockley. Won by Burke. McGuinness. Honeyman. Well wide of the target. It's good play in the end. Hull City getting the opportunity. Honeyman in the end volleying it well wide, but good play over on the left-hand side to keep the move and keep Preston guessing. Stockley up the other end now at Deepdale. Good cross into the box for Brown! Brilliant header, and Preston turned the game on its head. Two goals in 5 minutes. And it's a cross from the left-hand side, which this time has plagued Hull City. And Brown has come up with the header inside that penalty area, which now puts Hull City in a bad position. Hull have got to come from behind against the team with the best record at home. Stockley supplying the cross. And it's a great header past George Long. And now how do Hull City react to conceding twice very quickly? It's amazing how quick a game can change in the Championship. And Preston, who have upped their performance in the second half, now lead in their playoff push. Rees-Burke gets the tackle in. And Preston have just edged ahead in the shot department, and they've edged ahead on the score sheet as well. 2 goals in 4 minutes. Gallagher from the penalty spot, and Brown with a great header. Hung in the air, waiting for it. Pearson, he zipped that one in. And now the whole occasion changes. Well, Preston North End now enjoying the occasion after the frustrations of the first half. And now Hull City have to dig themselves out of a hole. Here's Brown. Cleared away by Rees-Burke. Honeyman. Barkhuizen. Now Pennington. He's gone in search of Wilkes, and Terrell now giving chase. De Silva. Hull City are planning their next change. It looks as though it's going to be another man who's had barely any game time now coming on. Norbert Balog is making his way on in a few moments' time. Brown's touch. Quite evident he has made an impression on this second half since coming on. It took him 10 minutes to do so. Pearson. Preston looks so much more motivated and inspired. But Irvine wins it. Terrell has gone in search of Wilkes. And out comes Rudd. Very commanding of his penalty area that time. Irvine, Terrell, that's a good turn, looking to find Wilkes. Just doesn't seem to be clicking at the moment now all of a sudden for Hull City in the final third. Jordi Device, he heads it forward, Gallagher's touch. Irvine, Terrell, now McGuinness. Elder. Irvine finds Josh McGuinness. Reece Burke signals his intentions, he wants that ball. In comes Honeyman. He asks the question of whether he should have got a free kick. Nothing given by Steve Martin, the referee. The ball over the top will in the end pass through. Simply enough for George Long. Big ball punted forward again. So here comes Norbert Balog. 2 days shy of a year from his last competitive goal. And he comes on to try and put Hull City at least level. In comes the cross. For a man who scored in the last occasion at Deepdale. McGuinness found Elder, but Elder couldn't find anybody in the box. Irvine. Jordi Device. Elder. McGuinness. In the end it has found Terrell. Stockley, and then in comes Jordi Device. Preston fans didn't like that phase of play. Elder has kept it in. McGuinness now battling once again with Fisher, who gets the better of him this time. But Hull City get the throw-in. A dozen minutes of normal time to run, and Hull City staring defeat in the face again. Can they find an equaliser? Elder throws it in. Norbert Balog has got two men on him. Here's De Silva, cannons up into the face of Harrop. Good pace from Irvine. Reece Burke. Preston trying to get a little bit higher up the pitch, and they win it in a good position as well, and that'll be a free kick. Well, Fisher just struggling ever so slightly, which will be a concern for the Preston fans and Alex Neil, the manager. They have still got a substitution to use. Wood sends it forward. Brown, Pearson, Gallagher. Good touch from Barkhuizen. And Irvine, right place at the right time, but here's Gallagher. He sliced it into Stockley. Here's Norbert Balog. Tussling but not successful. Here's Pearson. Pearson still going on his way, and it couldn't find Stockley running in. That would have been the goal which probably put this game beyond any doubt. Well, Preston have won it in a really good position. Big challenge comes in, and Pennington feels he won the ball. Steve Martin, I think, has got the yellow card ready in his right hand. The second booking for Hull City this afternoon. Wilkes, I think, just having a little word as well. And Pennington feels he got the ball. But in the eyes of the referee, it's going to be a free kick and a yellow card for the fullback. Gallagher sends it over. Stockley can head it. And a man to attach himself to the cross. A venomous strike coming in. As always, travelling higher and higher. And Brown wanted another. But this time his more audacious efforts just sailed away into the home areas of the crowd. Hull City are going to get the throw in. Irvine trying to get onto it. And Balog was the man who did so. Preston are able to clear their lines once again. That's just gone out of play. Quick thinking throw in puts Hull City in a good starting position for this set piece. Preston making their third and final change in a moment. Elder's long throw. Easily repelled. What about the cross? It's over towards the head of Wilkes. He's nodded it down. It's Brown's job to get it clear. Wilkes. Plenty of players around him, and he didn't really have much space to work with. Rhys Burke. Out of play it goes for a throw-in. Reaching that point in the game now where Preston North End may just be thinking about the 3 points. Rhys Burke has gone down again. In reference to that being through this season. First game back, and is now down on the floor. Physio's on for the second time for Hull City. And sliding in. He's been putting himself in those areas today, playing with a purpose.
This afternoon's attendance here at Deepdale, 12 1,342, 12,342, with 721 Hull City supporters.
Well, Riesberg has not moved as he gets treatment. Well, how a game can change in a very short space of time. Riesberg, thankfully, is now sitting up. With Hull City losing this game now, if it stays the same, Charlton and Stoke are both winning, who are just below Hull City in the league table, so the gap closing. Wigan and Barnsley both winning. Obviously, the physio's taking as much time and care as they can over Riesberg. This will allow Hull City to at least gather their thoughts for one final rally. There'll be a few minutes of added time. Riesberg thankfully on his feet, making his way over to the touchline. Marcus Maddison on the bench is probably the most favoured player of the remaining substitutes who would come on. But he hasn't got much time to make an impression if he does. Riesberg all bandaged up. Hull City. Well, a little bit of a collision off the ball. There's 3 minutes of normal time left to go at Deepdale. Hull City up the pitch where they need to be. Throws it in. Well, there was a little touch. Pennington back into the mix. In comes the cross, but the offside flag is up over on the far side of the pitch. Well, Preston making their final change. Brad Potts is going to come on, and Paul Gallagher, the man who brought Preston level, the captain, making way. He hands the armband to his teammate who put Preston in front.
Is number 44, Brad Potts.
Pennington Work to do in such a tight spot. Gets shoved to the floor. It's going to be a free kick, and immediately the ball's down and we're back underway. George Long sends it careering forwards. De Silva waiting for the players to get into the box for Balog, and over the top it goes. And it's very doubtful he's going to get a better chance in this match. His first chance in a Hull City shirt. Worked into the box, right sort of area, maybe just pitched up a little bit there on the turf, which sent the ball skywards. Pennington escaped. 7 minutes of injury time for Hull City to find an equaliser. Wilkes. Hull City have done it before here at Deepdale. In it comes. Jordi Device. Now Irvine. Jordi Device, he swings it, it's a great ball in. De Silva can't get the connection he wanted. A massive moment for him, and a massive moment for Hull City. They've still got plenty of men forward. Preston now all hands to the pump defensively. Pennington. McGuinness. Wilkes leaps. Pennington, good header wide to find Jordi Device. Oh, the ball has just gone out of play. And that's going to take the momentum out of the latest phase of play for Hull City, who are running out of time if they want anything from this match. Fans have given Ben Pearson of Preston their Man of the Match award. Malik Wilkes had a superb first half. Rhys Burkers, along with Pennington, done very well. But Hull City are behind. It's Pennington who plays it up towards Pearson. Sent back over the top. Barkhuizen, been very quiet today. Tees it up for Brad Potts. Can't get through the traffic. Harrop, and it will be a free kick on the edge of the area. I think the card's coming as well. And Harrop able to get to the ball, but then big challenge coming in, and the ball very close to the penalty area. Could be the final moment where Preston put themselves out of sight. And the Preston physio now on as well. Well, the swing in the second half, Preston certainly with much more possession, much more in terms of chances. And they upped the ante which they needed to do after what they will have seen as a poor first half performance. And Hull City following the equaliser, conceding 3 minutes after, and since then Preston have had the initiative, and this free kick opportunity might not just give them 3 goals but 3 points. Pearson throwing something away, as now the free kick will come in. Chipped over, and George Long gets his fingertips to it. It looks as though Hull City are going to make their final change. Grant McCann waving frantically on the bench. You would imagine there will be a little bit of extra stoppage time, as we see on the big screen George Long's save. Harrop will make his way over. Harrop. Met by Stockley. It all go out of play for a goal kick. Hull City are making their third and final change. Looks as though Maddison is getting ready to come on. Terral finds De Silva into Balog. Just wouldn't connect inside the penalty area. There may be 7 minutes added time, but I think there'll be a couple more on top of that. We've played almost 5 already. Offside flag is up. The third and final change. Callum Elder coming off for Maddison. And on he comes, Marcus Maddison. How many touches of the ball is he going to get? How much time has he got to maybe influence and get Hull City an equaliser? Need to do it again, like they did in the Carabao Cup. And Jared Bowen scored in the 95th minute. Rudd clears it away. It's a big tackle coming in by Stockley. He's made a good impression since he's come on. He's really given Hull City's defence something to think about. Preston chewing into the time as much as possible. Stockley headed back well by Pennington. George Long, one thing on his mind, to get it forward as quickly as possible. Simple header for Bauer. And Pennington did take a knock in the face. He's up on his feet, and it's pretty much everyone forward. The only man staying back is Reece Burke. Jackson Irvine is just behind the massive line of players. Potts will get the ball hooked away. Out for a throw and it goes. Terral tries to put it into the box again. That will conclude what has been in the end, nasty second half for Hull City to endure. 2 goals from Preston North End in quick succession, a Gallagher penalty and a Brown goal have turned the fixture around from half-time. Preston dug deep and have come back to win and continue their playoff push. So cruel on Hull City, because until the equaliser came, they certainly looked involved in this fixture, but when they went behind, it seemed to fizzle out ever so slightly. They tried to chuck crosses into the penalty area, didn't get as many full-hearted chances as they would have wanted to, and because of that, they were unable to turn the tide back slightly in their favour. Preston North End have come up with victory to continue their playoff push, with Bristol City losing and Blackburn not picking up the points today as well. That means that they are in a very good position now to kick on into their final 12 games. You would have to say now, for Hull City, it's just about consolidating where they can finish in the league table in terms of realism. Hull City, heartbroken and empty-handed. The final score at Deepdale, Preston 2, Hull City 1.